Hello there and welcome to the Fast Forward Show. Today, I'm really excited to introduce Luke Warren, who is the CEO of Kinetic Software. Welcome, Luke.
Hi, Louisa, and thanks for having me today.
No problem. I'm so excited to have you here. I really am. We've known each other for what, 8 years now?
Yeah, maybe even longer.
Maybe even longer. And I've seen your career soar through that time. You've absolutely flown. I mean, I think I've counted 6 or 7 promotions during that time in 2 companies, including, you were a sales manager in your mid-20s, and you've had 4 promotions at your current employer, Kinetic, leading to your position of where you are CEO today, and that's in less than 4 years. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I'm not sure where the time's gone. I certainly don't feel that much older. So yeah, it's been fun.
And you don't look that much older. And I have to address the elephant in the room here. You just don't look old enough to be a CEO. So for the purpose of our audience, can you tell us how old you are?
31, but it's the moisturizer. It's not the age necessarily.
I need some of that cream. I definitely need some of that cream. I mean, you've done so well for yourself, but having known you for all of this time, I know the blood, sweat, tears that you've put through, and you've worked damn hard to get where you are, and you bring a wealth of experience in sales leadership and in hiring processes, having been on both sides of the fence. And this leads me on to our first question. Earlier on in your career, you were in a position where you had a few jobs offers on the table, and you had to pick the best one, and you chose the role with the lowest basic salary. So can you tell me how you arrived at that decision?
Yeah, so it's going back some time now. What must it be? 10 years ago. It was a rather difficult decision to make at the time. I think salespeople typically, or many salespeople typically, focus in on the package, the on-target earnings, the OTE. And whilst that wasn't untrue for me, I was certainly money motivated, big plans and aspirations, buy a house, those types of things. I just felt there was more to my next step than money. There was so much more. So I took a step back and I tried to understand the other components of what was going to really help me be successful, but more than successful, happy. Mm-hmm. I think we forget that sometimes. It can sound potentially even weak to want to be happy, but I certainly did. So as a big family man, it doesn't just impact my day-to-day, the job I do, it impacts my wife and now children. So yeah, it's a pretty inclusive decision to make, and at least that's the way I viewed it. Particularly looking at the sort of tasks and the type of profession I suppose I was choosing to be a part of. Was it one that I believed in? I believed in the vast majority of the offers on the table, so it became a process of prioritizing those in which I felt kind of almost most allegiance to. Then there was, well, what's the potential for development and personal growth? And I have to say, I'm not a big fan of people promising personal growth or a career development at interview just to win candidates over. I think it's unfair. So it's not something I do. And I think also it's a two-way street. You've got to want it, and the company has to help make it available. So I took a look at my future career prospects. What's the story to be told of the people who are already in the business? What journey have they gone on? And is that something that I might be able to replicate or even improve on? If, for example, some of the businesses, at least one of the businesses comes to mind, people either stagnate and stay in the same position, or they move on very quickly and do what I call job hopping. Mm-hmm. Now, if that was a fairly large business, and if quite a large proportion of their employees did that, then that spoke volumes to me. Mm-hmm. That wasn't something I wanted to do. The other final point I looked at was the team, the management team, the leadership team. Could I see myself working with them? One of the biggest packages I was offered at that time, I just didn't think I could get on with the leader. It was very much his way or the highway. I have the best ideas, you do as I say. And I love coming up with ideas. I love challenging the status quo. And I didn't feel like I would be able to do that there. I didn't feel like he would accept that. So it led me to choose, just by very chance, the role with the lowest basic salary. You
mentioned there a moment ago, recruitment being a two-way street. Can you tell me what you mean by that, and how that, how you've brought that into your own career sort of moving forward?
Yeah, sure. And I don't think this matters what side of the table you're sat on, actually. Recruitment for me has always been a two-way street. And I think employers forget that. The candidate has an opportunity to say no if you offer them a role. So when I begin any interview, I explain that I do see this as a two-way street. I will be challenging you today. I want to get to know you, and I would expect you to do the same. If I'm going to be your leader, even as a line manager or the CEO of the business, part of your next, I suppose the next part of your journey is in my hands. So I would expect you to challenge me, ask me some great questions. I like to be put on the spot. So for me, an interview process is pretty mutual. We're both there to check each other out. It's not just the employer checking the potential new employee out. And I think that's vital in really healthy recruitment processes.
Yeah, fantastic. Luke, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for being my guest. That's fantastic advice that you've given us here. And I'm sure I'm going to be inviting you back again soon. So it's been lovely to have you.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Louisa.